We'll now turn to Clint Dietz with Hydrodine Catalytics. Clint was our cohort's crooner and was voted most likely to break out in song. His karaoke go-to is a traditional Korean song, Omaya Nunaya.
Great, thanks a lot, Matt. Doesn't it seem to you like GHG emissions is at the top of the agenda these days? Just to be compliant, Western Canadian gas producers will spend $7 billion on methane emissions reduction at over 350,000 wells. By using Hydrodine in only 5% of these wells, producers could save $300 million. This is why Hydrodine matters. Hello, my name is Clint Dietz, CEO of Hydrodine. In the current system, raw natural gas is burned in a catalytic heater. It is used as a pneumatic source. It's costly and it emits methane. This system doesn't meet today's regulatory requirements, making the market ready for change. Hydrodine has a solution. We remove the current catalytic heater and we replace it with our technology that is easily integrated. In our system, hydrogen peroxide passes over a catalyst to produce steam that we convert to heat. A fuel cell provides up to 1 kilowatt of power to run the electrics. We have patents pending in Canada and the US and trade secrets for our catalyst and our fuel cell. This 3D model shows how the Hydrodine system fits into a separator shed. Feedback from Tourmaline confirms that our system materially lowers OPEX and CAPEX. The commercial unit will be about the same size of a current catalytic heater. Field trial results are better than expected. As we retrofit out existing sheds or new sheds, our system gives a full suite of benefits. But on the other hand, WestJet's unit still burns raw natural gas and emits greenhouse gases, and it's 4 times higher cost than our system. We're finishing a field trial with our beta prototype. Optimization is complete for BP 2.0. We've conducted a site tour with Cenovus, and as a result, we now have a contract with Cenovus. These trials will lead us to our first commercial sales in Q1 2022. Although our chosen target market is 460 million, the Hydrodine system is a platform technology with a global market of 25 billion. Our business model is a simple B2B Direct Sales model where we use contract manufacturing and our lead investors' sales channels to sell directly to customers. This is sustained by multiple recurring revenue streams, as you can see here, with the upfront sale of the system and the catalyst, and then ongoing multiple recurring revenue streams from the chemical, the transport, installation, and commissioning and maintenance. Hydrodine expects to grow from 2.5 million in 2022 to 38 million in 2027, achieving profitability in year 3. We'll do this by focusing on the Western Canadian oil and gas market and then expand into the US market. In fact, we are actually holding current discussions with Southwestern Energy. Our ask is $500,000. This will give us a 1-year runway to fully commercialize. We'll methodically stand up a marketing and sales team, and that will also include customer success field engineers. We are a get her done type of leadership team, qualified by over 100 years of experience in the oil and gas market. Thank you. Hydrodine, the only complete solution, 0 emissions, lower CapEx, greater safety.
Thank you so much, Clint. Let us open up the Q&A portion. First question, how much does fuel gas contribute to methane emissions at the pump?
So this is an application where we work at remote natural gas well sites. And so fuel gas, and we know from earlier discussions today from Liz O'Connell at Catalytics that fugitive emissions from pneumatic sources, venting and combustion accounts for a very large portion of methane emissions in Western Canada and certainly throughout the US.
Another question, you mentioned that this can be used generally as heating. What other applications are you thinking about moving to next?
Yeah, super. So it's a 3-in-1 solution where we provide heat, power, and a pneumatic source. So the applications are actually quite varied. We know for sure that there's a wastewater application, a wastewater treatment application for municipalities, sewage treatment, and for pulp and paper. We also know that this has application in hydroponics, aquaponics, and we've even found an application in defense.
Excellent. Question from Jim Allman. As the peroxide must be delivered regularly, why shouldn't the customer just buy diesel, for example, instead for heat and electricity?
Yeah, for sure. So what we've found with our particular technology is the economics work very much in favor of the client. So first off, hydrogen peroxide has an exceptionally low environmental footprint, even at the producer. This is a zero emissions technology, which not only is a lower CapEx and OpEx, but allows the producer to capture offset carbon credits, which is a very significant benefit for them.
Okay, one more question. The end of the presentation mentioned greater safety. Can you elaborate? Safer than what?
Well, for sure. So our inventor, Ryan Woodley, who's our CTO, Chief Technology Officer, has spent 20 years in natural gas well sites. And he remembers very well, trying to get out of a separator shed because his eyes were burning and his lungs were burning. And so we know that without fuel gas, we completely eliminate any of the venting emissions from the pneumatics devices, actuators, pumps, controllers, and so forth. So there's zero emissions, and we completely reduce the LEL level in the separator shed. We can go from a class 1 group 1 to a class 1 group 2 environment. Really improves costs and safety for the operators.
Similar line of questioning, are there any safety concerns over using hydrogen peroxide?
Hydrogen peroxide actually is a very, very safe chemical. It's being used throughout the world. That's transported every day. Transport is highly regulated and certified. In our particular system, there is no need for operators touching anything. We have qualified individuals who do that. And in fact, Houston is a hub for the use of hydrogen peroxide. So it's a very well understood and there are standard operating procedures that are well accepted in the industry for its use.
All right, if there's no further questions, thank you so much, Clint. We'll move on to the next speaker.